All right, guys, today you are going to be doing a little project on slope. Slope has been a huge concept that we've worked on throughout the year. So we're going to take that knowledge of slope and do a little art project. This project has two parts. The first part, you are going to be given an image and asked to calculate the slope of the 15 selected lines. And you'll also need to classify these lines based on their slope, whether it's positive, as you can see here. You remember positive, negative, if it has a zero slope or an undefined slope. So that's the first thing you're going to do is classify them. And then you are going to actually calculate the number of the numerical value of the slope. And then you can color in the image if you would like to. I'm not going to put out crayons today. You are maybe next time, but if you want to color it yourself. But basically what I want you to do today is just calculate the slope, classify it of the given image, and then you are going to start creating your own image. So the next time we meet, you will have that opportunity to color them. So if you remember calculating the slope, you need to find 2 points on the line. You can use the formula of slope. You take 1 point, subtract the y value of 1 point, subtract the y value of another, the x of 1 point, subtract the x of another. But basically all you're doing is finding your rise over your run, right? So there's a change of 1. It's a negative slope, so it's a negative, positive 2, and it will simplify to the same thing of a negative 1/2. So looking down here, well, let's just do line number 1. If you look at that, that has a 0 slope, right? We know that that's a 0 slope. So line 1, we don't even have to worry about finding the slope because it's 0. So there we have it on your page, slope of a line 0. We can even pick an ordered pair. So for example, a -5 and an 18. So if we did a -5 and an 18, this point right here on that line, and then compare it to another point on that line, right? Any of these points, and I think in the example it gives you 1 and 18. So positive 1 and 18. So if we chose those 2 points, we could see between the 2 points that is a 0 slope. But you need to supply those 2 points. So let's just do another one. Let's actually look at line 2, okay? So we're going to look at line 2. I'm going to look at the slope of that line, right? I'm going to pick 2 points. I'm going to pick this point here, I think, and up here at the top. Why not? So this point right here is a -5, positive 14. So I'm going to go down here, -5, positive 14, right? And then the other point is -1, positive 16. So -1, positive 16. So then I'm going to take my 2 y values, and if you're subtracting them, we could do 16 minus 14, and we could do a -1, subtract a -5, and that's going to give us our slope. 16 minus 14 is 2. A -1 subtract a -5 is a positive 4, right? And you can do that on your calculator if you don't remember. And then we know that's going to simplify to 1/2, right? So 1/2 is our slope. Now we did forget to specify what kind of, if it's positive or negative, but if you look at this, it is increasing from left to right. So that is a positive slope, right? And that is how you find your slope. Choose 2 points on that line, find the difference. If you just want to do it mentally, just show what you did to figure that out. Did I just subtract? It doesn't matter which direction you go as long as you're going in the same direction. I think what I'll do is do one more with you so you can find that slope. Let's see, let's actually just do the next one, line 3. Let's just pick 2 points on that line. We could do this line, right, or this point and this point on that line. So basically it's 4 and 10 and 4 and 12. So I will just write 4, 10 is 1 point, 4, 12 is the other point. And we know it is a vertical line, and if you remember, any vertical line always has an undefined slope. So we know that this is undefined, right? And then let's just go the opposite direction. We're just gonna take our one y value, subtract the other y value, but just keep it consistent. So 10 minus 12. So 10 minus 12 over 4 minus 4 is 0, right? So that equals, well, 10 minus 12 is a negative 2 over 0. We don't divide by 0, so we know that that's undefined, right? So that's what you could leave it at like that, and that would be fine. So that is the first part. You will have to find the slope of all of those lines, specify what kind of slope they are. If you go down to the second part or go over to the second part, this is where you get to create your own image. It doesn't have to be Minecraft related at all. It can be a pet, your favorite superhero, car, or anything else you want. You're going to create your own picture on the graph using at least 15 lines. And then you're going to label those lines like you saw in the picture above. Identify 2 points on each line and write down their ordered pairs. Classify the line as having positive, negative, 0, or undefined slope, and then calculate the slope. What needs to be in the picture? The picture must contain at least, now this is the criteria here, 5 lines with a positive slope, 5 lines with a negative slope, 3 lines with 0, and 2 lines with undefined. And your picture, of course, can contain more than 15 lines. As long as they fulfill the requirements above, you will only need to find the slope of these 15 lines. So you can have as many as you want to, but at least 15, and then find the slope of 15 lines. And these are just some images that if you didn't have something to draw, you could do something like this. You can search an image that you would like to do that might be easy. You just can't recreate or duplicate what is up here, right? We don't want you to do that. So anything that you would like, we're gonna leave that up to your imagination. I've seen students do emojis. I've had students do astronauts. The sky's the limit. So you guys can choose to do that. But you're going to also need to make sure that you show that what kind of line, whatever 15 lines that you choose to do, that you show the slope of it. You have an ordered pair for 1 point, you have an ordered pair for 2 points, and then you find the slope. You don't even have to write equations, we're just finding the slope, right? And if you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me, but that is your assignment. Good luck.